早速音読を始めましょう。Are you ready to start? Let's begin. ペットと人間の絆。Fred and I once had a friendly argument over which makes a better pet, a dog or a cat. It all began when we were walking in my neighborhood and suddenly a dog started barking loudly at us. The dog was in a neighbor's yard with a fence around it, but it came as quite a surprise and scared me a little bit. I made some kind of rude remark like, "Shut up, you noisy little beast." Fred seemed amused by my angry words. It's a watchdog, Ken. It's only doing what is natural. It may well be a loving pet to its owners. Let me tell you about one of the best dogs I've ever met, Fred said, and he began to tell his story. The dog had belonged to Bill, one of his close friends in primary school. It was a poodle, but not a small miniature or a toy poodle. This dog was what is called a standard poodle, which is a medium-sized dog, and it stood about as tall as Fred's chest at the time. One day, Fred was at his friend's house, and he and Bill were having a wrestling match for fun. There was no anger, they were only playing. Fred had gotten the better of his friend and had pinned his shoulders to the floor. He was on top of Bill and saying, "Give up," when he felt a slight pressure on his left shoulder, like that of a hand of an adult. He thought it might be his friend's father telling him that their game should end. But when Fred looked over his left, it wasn't his friend's father. No, it was his friend's poodle with his mouth around his shoulder. The dog wasn't biting him. It was just holding Fred's entire shoulder gently in his mouth and looking at Fred in such a way to say, "Get off my master." Fred, in amusement, let go of his friend's shoulders and let the dog let go of Fred's shoulder. At no time after that, throughout the years that Fred, Bill, and Bill's dog played together, did the dog ever act strangely towards Fred. It was as if the dog knew that Fred was his master's friend. Now it was a real dog, Fred concluded. I had to agree. It made me think of the old saying, "A dog is a man's best friend." Still, I wasn't going to give up without telling Fred about the greatest cat I had ever known. On her 7th birthday, my parents bought my little sister a male kitten, which we named George, for her to play with. But soon she lost interest in it, and as it grew out of its kitten stage. The cat apparently decided that I, the big brother, would be a more dependable master than my sister. It began communicating this to me in the evenings by jumping up on my desk and sitting on top of whatever homework I happened to be doing. In the mornings, it would jump up on my bed and chew on my fingertips until I got up to feed it. Over time, George made an impression on everyone. You could actually call out George's name and our intelligent little friend would come running. George never killed small animals or brought them to us, but in the mornings, there was often some food from the supermarket trash waiting for us when we opened the front door. George was apparently a pretty good thief, if not a particularly strong hunter. Soon, George grew quite large and could enter every room in the house by twisting the doorknob and leaning against the door to open it. Our wonderful pet was like a member of the family, but they may have led to a tragedy. When my baby brother was born, my parents wouldn't let George go into the room where the baby slept. 2 days later, George disappeared. To this day, we think a broken heart may have made our cat run away in despair. I guess George really loved us. I'm impressed, said my friend Fred. A cat that comes to its master when called and acts like a member of the family. Sounds like a dog to me. It seemed neither of us could change the other's mind about which animal made a better pet. All we could agree upon was that the pets can create a lasting impression on people. どうだったでしょうか？音読は繰り返しが大切です。See you next time.